You are welcome to SunTrust Academy. Today we're considering salt. But before we continue, if you're following us on our YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe so you can get to follow us in our subsequent class. Today we'll be considering salt, as I said. But what is salt? Salt is the expression of numbers that involve square roots, cube roots, fourth roots, fifth roots, and so on and so forth. Now, numbers are being expressed in salt form because of irrational number. We use salt to express irrational number. They recall decimal, those numbers that decimal cannot easily terminate. So, but for we to be able to solve questions in salt, we must follow the rules that govern salt. Rules of salt. Rules of salt. You look at the first one. If I'm multiplying root A times root A, the rules of salt say it is equal to A. This is possible because the number inside A and A, they are the same, similar salt. Similar salt, multiplication of a similar salt. Here is the square root of A and here is the square root of A. It will give us equal to A. Now look at the second one. If I'm multiplying two salts that are not the same, but the number inside is two different salts that are not the same, the rule says that to give us root AB. Now, number 3, we look at the square root of a division inside the square root. A divided by B. The rules of salt say that it is equal to square root of A divided by square root of B. The condition for this to hold is that A must be greater than or equal to 0, which means A can be 0, A can be 1, but A must not go below 0. Now the second condition, that B will be strictly greater than 0. B cannot be 0, B cannot be less than 0, but B must be strictly greater than 0. Now, we look at the expansion. Number 4, we look at the expansion. Say that if I have the square root of A multiplied by C plus or minus D, that it is equal to, this will multiply with this to give us C root A plus or minus C root A times C will give us D root A. That is what the rules state. So, but there are things to note when you are solving salt. This is very, very crucial. Now let's look at the things you need to note when you are solving salt. Note the following. The first one you need to note that root A plus root B is not equal to root A plus B. Again, number 2, root A minus root B is not equal to root A minus B. We look at the addition of salt. What happens when we are adding salt? For we to be able to add 2 salt, to sum it to, maybe to reduce the salt, first of all, that salt must be similar. What do I mean by similar? For me to add this salt, I have root A plus root B. the sword, they are similar sword. For me to add it must be similar sword. 1 root a plus 1 root a will give us 2 root a. Now we look at the second one. Again, for me to add another sword, if I have 2 root a plus 3 root a, this will be equal to 5 root a. Now we look at the subtraction of sword. Subtraction of sword. When you are subtracting sword, here we have a root a minus root a. Of course, to give us equal to 0. Number 2, if I have 3 root a minus root a, that will give us 2 root a. So that is the things to consider. That will help us if we have questions that has to do with sword. Of course, we'll be able to tackle it using these rules we've stated so far. So here we want to apply the rules we've stated so far to solve this question. Solution. Here we have 2 root 28 minus 3 root 50 plus 72. Now this sword we have here, root 28, we can split it into 2. Now I will write it as 2 root 4 times 7 minus 3 root 25 times 2 plus root 36 times 2. Here we can still further express this as 2 into, here we apply the 4 roots times root 7 minus 3 into root 25 times root 2 plus root 36 times root 2. Mind you, before you can express this, make sure that one of these factors you have here must have a perfect square root. Now 4 is a perfect square root, 25 is a perfect square root, 36 is a perfect square root. The two numbers you can multiply to get this that has a perfect square root is 4, and 4 has a perfect square root, and 7 doesn't have a perfect square root. Now this one here, 25 has a perfect square root, while 2 does not have perfect square root. Here we have 36 that has a perfect square root, while 2 does not have a perfect square root. So here we can now express it as 2 into the square root of 2, the square root of 4 will give us 2 times root 7. Here we have 3 into square root of 25 will give us 5 times root 2 plus the square root of 36 will give us 6 root 2. So here 2 times 2 will give us 4 times root 7. Here 3 times 5, that will give us 15 root 2 plus 6 root 2. Now when you look at this, you observe that these two swords are the same. So you look at minus 15 root 2 plus 6 root 2. And that will give us 4 root 7 minus 9 root 2. And that is our answer. Okay, we look at question number 2. The question said k root 28 plus root 63 minus 7 equal to 0. Find the value of k. Now we pick the question the way it is. Solution. Here we have k root 28 plus root 63 minus root 7 equal to 0. First of all, we look at the numbers we have here. Can we further express it? Yes, we can. So we can write as k root 4 times 7 plus 63. I can express it as 9 times 7 minus root 7 equal to 0. Here we can further express it as k root 4 times root 7 plus root 9 times root 7 minus root 7 equal to 0. Of course, we know that the root 4 will give us 2. 2 times k will give us 2k root 7. Here, square root of 9 will give us 3 root 7 minus root 7. Of course, from here, you can agree with me that 3 root 7 minus root 7 will give us 2k root 7 plus 2 root 7 equal to 0. Now I want to make k the set of formula because we are looking for the value of k. So we'll send this 2 root 7 to the right hand side. We have 2k root 7 equal to minus 2 root 7. So we want k to stand alone, so we divide both sides. Divide both sides by the coefficient of k, which is 2 root 7. So we have it as 2k root 7 divided by 2 root 7, which is equal to minus 2 root 7 divided by 2 root 7. Of course, 2 will cancel 2, root 7 will cancel root 7, root 7 will cancel root 7, this will cancel this. But because of negative sign, only k is remaining here. We have k equal to minus 1. So k is equal to minus 1. Okay, so we look at the third question. The third question said, open bracket root 3 minus 5 root 2, open, close bracket, and open bracket root 2, root 3 plus root 2, close bracket is equal to a plus b root 6. Now, this is a 2 brackets. For we to be able to solve this question, we have to expand the bracket. The question said we should find a and b. That's a and b. That is the way the nature of that this must be in this nature. And this question must be resolved to this form. So let's solve it and find our a and b. We have root 3 minus 5 root 2, close bracket, root 3 plus root 2. Now let's solve the question. We expand the bracket. Now we said we're going to multiply it. Root 3 times root 3. Root 3 times root 3 plus root 3 times root 2 minus 5 root 2 times root 3. That will give us 5 root 2 times root 3. Here we have minus 5 root 2 times root 2. Okay? So here we have what we have in the bracket. The same side multiply the same side will give us exactly what is inside. So root 3 times root 3 will give us 3. Now here we have root 2 times root 3, which is 2 different sides. It will give us, it will not be 3 times 2 to give us root 6. To give us root 6 minus 5. Here we have the same roots. We have the same thing here, which is root 2 times root 3, which is different side. It will not be 5 root 6. Here we have minus 5. The same thing, the same root are multiplying themselves. Root 2 times root 2 will give us times 2. Okay? So, here we have 3 plus root 6 minus 5 root 6. Minus 5 times 2 will give us minus 10. So, we'll collect like terms. Here we have minus 10 plus 3 plus 6 plus root 6 minus 5 root 6. Okay, so if you look at this, minus 10 plus 3 will give us minus 7. Here we have root 6 minus 5 root 6. That will give us minus 4 root 6. Now, if you look at this, we'll compare this now to the equation. Because we say that when we resolve this, it is equal to A plus B root 6. Now, we'll compare this. Here we have A. If we compare it here, we can say that A is equal to minus 7. If we compare B, B is also equal to minus 4. So our answer, A is equal to minus 7 and B is equal to minus 4. Please do well to subscribe so you can get to follow us in our subsequent class.